I want to talk about how Black women are so ready to listen to Abby Young about their hair.
I've been wanting to talk about this conversation for a while, but I've sat on it for a minute because I wasn't sure how to address it. So I want to get into the Abby Young method. A lot of people are talking about it, and some people are on one side of the fence, and then some people are on the other side. Now you got some sisters saying the Abby Young method works, and they're encouraging other people to use it. And then the other sisters are saying, why does a Caucasian girl think that she knows about four type hair? Now, I don't have a wall to lean on. It don't matter to me what you all do with your hair because I have been talking about hair for over a year. I've been doing hair for over 15 years. And I have come to realize you gonna do what you want to do. But we might as well go ahead and just discuss this, and then you can leave your comments and tell me how you feel about the Abby Young method. Is she on to something? Is this an old method that she's made into her method? Are the girls just trying anything because this is something that's trending? Well, we're going to get into all of that. But why don't we take a look at these clips and then discuss?
Those of y'all who don't know, because I didn't, this is Abby Young, okay? Pay attention to this bio because I'm going to get into that in a second. So this lady came into the shop the other day and she was like, oh my God, I love your hair. I love your curls. I was like, well, thank you. And she was like, do you do the Abby Young method? And I was like, the what? And she was like, the Abby Young method. That's why I'm in here today. I'm getting stuff for that. It's like 11 steps. I was like, let me move my curls because I don't think I heard you right. It's how many steps? She's going to say a little bit louder and actually confirm I did hear her correctly. It's 11 steps. I've been a natural all my life, okay? I was getting my hair braided every other week, and then I was wearing it in buns. I was wearing it curly. I was a straight natural, and then I went back to this. I ain't never done 11 steps of nothing, honey. And I just have a question for the Black girlies who are ready to listen to this woman. When is the last time you saw a Black professional, a licensed cosmetologist? When's the last time you saw one of those? And rarely do I get on this app and defend the professionals, but oh my God. Okay, I have seen some of y'all in the comments asking other licensed cosmetologists about the Abby Young method. Honey, First of all, this is not her method, okay? This is cosmetology school. This is cosmetology school. It's in a textbook, all right? And they get on here licensed Black cosmetologists every day and give y'all free game, okay? And then they tell you book an appointment because nothing is one size fits all. And it might be one thing that's in your routine that's why your hair is not growing. If you even have a routine, because some of y'all don't. And I'm gonna be so real with you. The reason that your hair is growing now versus before is because you're washing it every week and you're taking care of it. Your scalp is breathing, okay? And you're not putting it in knotless braids every other month, breaking off your hair. And this is not to shame you if you don't have a routine, but then you need to book an appointment with a licensed professional because then they can see your hair, feel your hair, look at your scalp, and then they can build you a routine that fits your lifestyle because 11 steps is not sustainable. Not to mention, y'all got on here and fried the natural hair community who was part of like YouTube University when it was at its like peak, okay? Because they had so many steps in their routines. Yet y'all ready to run out and buy whatever this little white lady tell you.
Sis gave us a mouthful, and a mouthful she gave. I don't have anything else to say because I can hear somebody right now typing on their little phone, click, 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 click. You just don't like the Abby Young method because she ain't using your products. And this is all assumption. Because the moment that you don't agree with somebody else, they start assuming all kinds of things about you. Now, I'm not saying that her method is bad or good. I don't even know about her method. But will I say that 11 steps is a lot? It absolutely is. Some folks can't even do 11 steps a day to lose weight. And we're about to follow 11 steps of hair care routines in one day. And all of the girls who were talking about natural hair is so exhausting. It's so exhausting. I'm tired because it takes all day to wash. Baby, with 11 steps, it's going to take you all month. But I digress. I'm not trying to get on Abby Young, her method, or whoever's method she done came up with. Let's listen to the next video.
Lately, there's been a rise in Black women taking hair care advice from white women. Now, I'm going to start this by saying I don't think there's inherently anything wrong with taking advice from white women. If the information presented is objective truth and or it's getting you the results you want, I mean, there's no reason to not take the advice. However, I do think that this shift systemically is a response to this growing distrust of Black women, specifically in the hair care space. Let's backtrack this to the beginning of the natural hair movement back in 2010. Women were known for their emphasis on all natural ingredients and also mixing things at home to take care of their hair. Shea butter was popular, egg hair masks were popular. There was just way more emphasis on a more organic and earthy approach. Wash days were long. You were pre-pooing, you were doing a mask, you were shampooing, you were de-seeing, leaving this. It were very extensive routines. Let's fast forward to 2020 or so when this science-backed hair care started getting traction. And there was a lot of negative rhetoric surrounding the women who really paved the way for natural hair care. I would say no oils, no butters really kind of sparked this. It essentially made women who started the whole thing look like a bunch of idiots just slapping shea butter on their hair. People stopped wanting to be in the bathroom all day doing their hair. They wanted simple and effective solution. However, I think the negativity of the language used was really, really bad for us over time. I gotta remember, people weren't just doing this just to do it. The things had some type of result to keep doing it.
Here is my 3-week update to the Abby Young wash method. You now have cosmetologists on this app kicking and punching air and borderline degrading Abby for her method. Some of the things I'm hearing is, it's 11 steps. That's too much. It's not sustainable. Well, maybe for you. Some of us, like myself, I have 1,000 steps in my skincare, so why can't I love on my hair the same? But Abby also created modified versions to her theory where there are less products being used and you can pick and choose which one suits you best. While we all know Abby did not create these products, okay? But she did create the method and how we are layering them. She's also giving product recommendation. So what is wrong with her marketing herself and also being compensated for it for her methodology and her system? At the end of the day, I think Abby's point was to help women take better care of their hair and fall in love with it once again.
I think I gave y'all enough of positive and negatives, okay? Or maybe did I do more negatives? Well, you get my point. There are some people who just don't like the method. And then there are some people who are like, girl, the method is working for us. I'm going to say this as a former hairstylist. It wouldn't bother me not one bit if somebody came up with a method so that the girls could take care of their hair at home, because that's what y'all supposed to do. I mean, like, why would any cosmetologist be upset about that? You're supposed to take care of your hair at home. And last I checked, a lot of the girls is not going to the salons like that nowadays anyway. You know, back in my time, you know, man, I make myself sound so old. But hold on, let me just say something, right? Before you even go there. We were going to the salon every single week, but the prices were not the same. And you had people coming in all the time. It wasn't a big thing. Now the prices are more expensive. Everything has gone up. So people is not coming into the salon like they used to. Folks is doing their own hair. Plus, we didn't have YouTube back then. So people didn't know how to do stuff. So I don't think that the cosmetologists are upset about that. I think that people probably are more upset because they've been saying the same thing all along. This is nothing new. The last girl said history repeating itself. It is. There have been plenty of videos where people have said, use this product, then follow it up with this product, and then do this step and do this step and do this step. And you know what y'all did? Complained. And then somebody said, you know what? I'm going to make it simpler for you. Do this step, and do this step. And y'all did what? Complained. It's like there's a no win. But the moment that somebody comes up with something else, everybody's ranting and raving about it. Oh my God, did you see this method? Oh my God, did you hear about this? And it's not just Abby Young's method. It's everything that becomes a trend. So I'm not faulting her. I have nothing against her method. We're going to talk about her method. And I want to take a look at it because you might just want to use it. Now, the only thing I got to say about her method, or maybe the products that she promotes, is I don't spy with my little eye not one black hair care product on her line. Not a one. And that right there would be a problem for me. Not just because it's Black History Month, but because it's black women talking about they using a method, but none of us are on there. Where are we, girl? Like Abby, I get it that the products that we create may not work for your hair, but they work for ours. And they also are science-backed. And all I'm saying is products made by L'Oreal and some other folks that just don't look like me.
This is exactly how to simplify the Abby Young method so that you get the best possible results with the least amount of product. The most basic possible version of this routine requires 3 products: a shampoo, a conditioner, and a leave-in conditioning spray with heat protection. This is a really solid routine if you're in a rush and don't have time for more products, but if you are looking to take your results up a notch, then I'd recommend adding a deep cleaning shampoo and a bond repair treatment at least once a week. Some people get best results using a deep cleaning shampoo as their main main regular shampoo, and if that's the case for you, that is totally fine. But for others that maybe have a really dry scalp or really dry damaged hair, this can feel a bit too stripping. So do what works best for you here, but incorporating both a clarifying and reparative shampoo into your weekly routine is a really great approach. And for your bond repair treatment, you can choose based on which mode of application you like best. So that could be pre-wash, post-shampoo, or post-shower. If you are using the right products, you will absolutely see major improvements in your hair with that 5-product routine. But if your hair is really dry, damaged, and difficult to manage, the next product I recommend adding is a hair oil. And you could use the exact same oil for both pre-wash and post-wash to keep it minimal, or you could also use 2 separate oils if you get better results with a bit of a heavier oil pre-wash and a lighter weight option post-wash.
I couldn't find the 11-step method for the Abby Young, but if I do, I might do another video on it. So we're going to talk about her 3-step and her 5-step. Now, I've heard these 3-step processes before, and I've even talked about them myself. Shampoo, conditioner, leave-in conditioner. So you're using 2 conditioners, basically. When it comes to your shampoo, you want to use a moisturizing or a hydrating shampoo, okay? Sometimes people prefer one over the other, whatever works for you. And then you follow it up with a conditioner. Follow the directions on the back of the bottle. And then when you're done washing your hair, you're going to put a leave-in conditioner in. Bada bing, bada boom, and then you style. For her 5-step method, she says you're going to use a clarifying shampoo, a regular shampoo, then you're going to go in and you're going to also need a bond repair treatment, hair mask or conditioner, and then leave-in conditioner with a heat protectant. Now, let me just say a couple of things that she mentioned in her video. 1, clarifying every week or deep cleansing your hair every week for a 3-type girl or 4-type girl is a no-no. Because when you clarify your hair every single week, it causes it to dry out, which is what she did mention. And she said if it doesn't work for you, don't do it. I'm telling you, 3-type girls and 4-type girls, don't do it, girl. Don't do it. And then she talked about the bond repair treatment. You have to know why you need this treatment, because treatments can be real tricky sometimes. That's why the girls had issues with the hair oil, but I'll get into that in a second. So when you use a bond repair treatment, it's for damaged hair, color treated hair, chemical treated hair, hair that's, uses a lot of heat. That's what you need a bond repair treatment for. If you use a bond repair treatment and don't need it, you could possibly be adding too much protein to your hair, which again can cause damage to the hair. I think that's very important for you to know, just in case you start thinking, let me go pick up this product, and this product, and you might not need it, okay? I would just say consult a cosmetologist, all right? Or come back to this video. Now, when we talk about using a hair oil as a treatment, which we sell a strengthening hair oil at CorgineHair.com. Shameless plug. I like to use the hair oil as a treatment, but also as a sealant. And I say sealant because you're sealing in the moisture. So when you're done with all of your steps from washing your hair, and even when you want to put a leave-in in, you can seal it with the oil. If you want to put the curling cream in as your moisturizer, you can seal it with our strengthening oil. But when it becomes a treatment is when you have hair loss or thinning, and you want to put it in the areas on your scalp where you have that hair loss or thinning. Other than that, you can use it on your strands to seal moisture or on your ends. You have to be really careful about how you use your products, when you use your products, and know why you're using your products. I think this is one of the reasons why the girls had a big issue with certain oils that were out, because they were using the oils to moisturize their hair, putting the oil on their scalp when it wasn't needed, and those particular ingredients were not for that. It was simply to treat hair loss. That's why they're called growth oils, or they are promoted as hair growth oils. So a hair growth oil doesn't necessarily need to be used on your hair if you're not losing your hair. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Now, I do appreciate Abby Young for making this method and getting the girls back on track, because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm tired of seeing the wigs that's glued down to the forehead, and I would really like us to be able to enjoy our own hair and wear it out and just let it shake, rattle, and roll, okay? So if Abby is going to help us do that, then come on, Abby, help us do that. I am not discriminating on how you do it. All I have to say one last time is, Abby, I'm going to need you to go ahead and get some black hair care products up there. And you can start with mine. Now, y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to keep it cute and healthy.